Well, hello there. Welcome back to Grandma Ray Don't Play, and I'm Rachel. So guess what, guys? I'm going to be showing you how to cook some chicken and rice and broccoli in the Power Pressure Cooker XL. Now, if you don't have a Power Pressure Cooker XL, it's okay. You can do yours on the stove. It's the same ingredients, same process. The only difference is you're boiling yours on the stove. You may have to adjust your time more or less, but it's the same, okay? So let's don't get hung up on the equipment, okay? I'm just showing you with the Power Pressure Cooker XL. You may have one, okay? Alright, so I already cut up the chicken thighs into, I had 8 of them. I cut them into small strips. And first we're going to do is we're going to saute the chicken in the Power Pressure Cooker XL. You know, if you hit the saute button, it's just like a frying pan. The saute button is that button right in the middle, guys. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to put our seasonings on it, and we're going to keep it moving, okay? All right, let's do it. 1 second. Okay, so here I have 8 chicken thighs that I cut off the bone and cut up into small strips. Let me show you them. Okay? Alright. So now we're going to put our seasoning on there. Okay. Wipe my hand. Alright, so we're going to add some ground garlic. Remember, seasonings is your choice. You like to use what I'm using, welcome. If you don't, you can use your own. Ground cumin. Oh, that's coming out a little too slow for Grandma Ray. Okay. I put about maybe 4 tablespoons. That's a lot of cumin I put in there. Larry seasoning salt. And some black pepper. Black pepper. Okay, we're going to mix that up.
Say that again.
Ah! One second, guys. Okay, guys, so I already have the saute button on. It's already heated up. I'm going to add some grapeseed oil. You can add grapeseed oil, olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever kind of oil you use, okay? I'm going to put that in there because remember, we're sauteing the chicken first, right? And the key thing that I want to add to that is some garlic. So I want to show you, this is about a clove of crushed up garlic, 1 clove. I'm going to put that in there. Let that mix. Okay. Now we're going to add the chicken right in there, okay? And we just want to wait until that gets brown. Okay, we're going to give that a few minutes, about maybe, I'd say 8 minutes to brown, alright? And I'll be back. Okay, so I just cut the saute button off. That cooked for about 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. And now we're going to add our ingredients. Okay, this is a 6-ounce cup. I'm adding half of that, so that's about 3 ounces. Okay, and I only added half so far, alright? We just want to leave that other half for a few minutes. Now I want to stir in my ingredients. This is cilantro, minced onion, and a piece of garlic. I'll put that in. This is about 2 tomatoes cut up. I'm going to put that in. Now the reason why I'm adding the tomatoes and the cilantro and onions first is because they make water. So I'm going to reduce the amount of water that I would normally add to my rice. Some. Okay? Okay, so that's all stirred in. So now I have about a pound of rice, maybe a pound and a quarter of rice, I think. Okay, let's call it a pound and a quarter because I had a little bit in one bag and a pound in another bag. Alright, I'm going to add that. Okay, we're going to give that a stir. Okay, the broccoli we're going to cook separate and on the stove, and then I'll incorporate that later. I'm going to cook the broccoli actually in another video, okay? Alright, so I'm going to add chicken broth to that. I want to add 3 tablespoons, heaping, that's 1. 2 and 3. 3, okay? Alright, got a drop left in here. See if I can get that drop out. Okay. Alright, so we're going to mix that in. Now also I would like to add another pinch of garlic. Okay, so I have about a half a teaspoon of garlic paste. I'm adding that to that. Alright, let's just mix all of that in. You know that broth from when the chicken was cooking is down. Okay, this is the balance of the, remember I started with a half, which is 3 ounces of water, and I only poured half of that. This is the other little half right here. Okay, so we're still on 3 ounces of water. In a pressure cooker, if you can see, oh, and by the way, I did rinse my rice 3 times to get the starch off. And if you can see the water on the top, when you push the rice down like this, then you got enough water. You want to be able to see that rice. Okay? And if you think you don't have enough, you can add some more later or add some more now. I think I'm good. I want to see what happens when the onions and the tomatoes extract some water. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to put the top on. And we're going to hit this button starting at 10 minutes, and we're going to count up to 25 minutes. Okay, the pressure will build up. When the pressure builds up, the little red button back here will pop up, and then that's when it'll actually start cooking. Okay? So we'll be back in 25 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so let me give you the word of the day while the chicken broth is just about done. About another minute, I think I can check on it and take the bones out, okay? So let me give you the word of the day. The word of the day is, one second. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. The word of the day is, you're sick and you're sick and you're sick, but yet you won't go to the doctor, you won't seek out help. All you want to do is complain about your sickness. Well, you don't want to get well because you're not doing nothing about it. Please stop complaining. Help yourself, okay? Maybe you need to take your medicine, or maybe you need to follow the doctor's instructions, or maybe you need to go see the doctor. Do something, okay, to help yourself. Stop being sick and complaining about being sick and do something about it, okay? Alright, that's the word of the day. Do something about your sickness, will you? Come on, we all want you well, okay? Alright, so let me turn you to the chicken broth. Okay, so this is our chicken broth, and it's been boiling with the chicken bones for 45 minutes. I'm going to take the bones out now. Remember, we had 8 bones. If you don't have 8, you can do it, boil 3. However much broth you want to make, okay? You don't have to have a whole lot. I have one more if I can get it. Wow, I can't get it. Are you kidding me? Here it is. Okay, so they're all out. This is the bones that we boiled to make our chicken broth. Okay, now I want to enhance that flavor. So I have some chicken broth that I bought from the store. You're saying, well, if you bought it from the store, why are you making it? Because I'm going to make more this way, okay? You may run out of this broth that you bought from the store, but this you can put in small containers and freeze it and put it in the freezer and you'll have it. Okay, 1, 2, 3 heaping tablespoons of chicken broth I put in there. Now I'm going to stir that and let that cook for about maybe 2 minutes just to come together, and then I'm going to taste it and see if I need to add more or not. This is to strengthen the flavor, make it stronger, because you know the broth you buy in the store is concentrated. This is concentrated, even though it's a powdered form, okay? Okay, so we're going to let that come back up to a boil in a few minutes. Okay, now, what I'm going to do with these bones is, I'm going to put cold water on it and let it get cold, and then I'm going to pick the meat off of this, okay? And I'll be back. Okay, that's how much meat I got off of the bones that I took from the chicken broth. That's quite a bit of meat, right? You can add that to something. You can save it and add it for chicken soup, or you can eat it with your breakfast in the morning, have some scrambled eggs and chicken, or whatever, right? Okay, so now I want to taste the broth after we have added the powdered broth to it and see what I'm missing. I'm just going to taste a little. It's good. Nice strong flavor. I don't need to add anything else to it. So the only other thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to strain that through a strainer to get any other big pieces of chicken or stuff like that out of it, okay? Anything that fell off the bones. Alright, so I'm going to strain it and I'll be back to show you that afterwards. Okay. So remember I had added an onion. So this is the onion and anything else that came off the bone that I strained the broth through. Okay, so I poured the broth through the strainer and this is the end results. Okay, so that we're going to throw out. I just wanted to show you that because remember I added an onion, but you don't want it to show up in your broth. You want only the flavor. And this is our broth. See? How about that? So I already tasted and you got my approval. It is good. Okay, so you're going to put that in small containers and put that in the freezer. And whenever you need broth, guess what? You have plenty of broth. Practically free, right? The bones you would have just threw in the trash. But we boiled the bones and made some use out of it and made the chicken broth, right? In addition to that, remember, we have this excess meat that came off the bones that I picked off the bones after they were boiled. So it's a win-win situation. So I used the chicken thigh in a meal. Then I made broth. And then I have the excess meat from the bones that I'm going to use for my breakfast in the morning. How about that, huh? Out of 8 chicken thighs, I did 3 things that you could do with it to accommodate 3 meals. That's a good deal. Okay, until next time, if you really like that, I think I brought it home to you today. Hit that like button, please. Okay, share the video. Let somebody else know how to make chicken broth. Okay, and if they don't have the powdered chicken broth to add to it, you can do the powdered packages. Okay, either way. All right, and until next time, I'll talk to you later from Grandma Ray Don't Play. Bye.